I found some amazing finds in Goodwill today, all under $5. We're gonna give them some easy high-end makeovers on a budget. I seen this palette box the last time I was in Goodwill and I was super excited that they had it this trip because it's only $1.99 and I love wood boxes. Plus it has this beautiful engravement on the side, Napa Valley Box Company. I always find spray painting palettes to be way easier than hand painting them, so we're gonna give this a nice coat of this beautiful Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte spray paint in the sand dollar color. There is so much you can do with a piece like this, but I'm gonna stick a mason jar in the center and add a little lantern piece from Dollar Tree right on top. For a little something something, I decided to add just a little bit of greenery around our mason jar. Obviously, put whatever you want in here. That's completely up to you and your decor in your home, or in this upcycle's case, an outdoor centerpiece. If you want to create a piece like this and keep it outside, make sure you're using the proper outdoor sealer to be able to do so. And I would recommend bringing in the greenery and the lantern if you're not using it. I love how adding just a little paint and a little bit of greenery to this piece can create such an easy high-end looking piece on such a teeny tiny budget. If I'm being honest, people, I really like this tin metal galvanized bucket, whatever you want to call it, that I picked up from Goodwill just like it is. It was only $2.99. I was like, we could just throw some stuff in it and call it a day, but I like to make myself miserable, and here you're going to go through that with me. First, with the cleaning, okay? Some dish soap, some water, get the suds going. To be honest with you, this piece is a little crusty musty, okay? There were some crusty bits on the inside. We can't be painting anything with crusty bits, okay? We got to get all the things that were around the little butterfly design off. We're going to use this rustic pink Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Matte spray paint for our bucket. So say goodbye to the green. I know I'm a little sad about it, but I feel like this is a good pick for the project. I had to take a quick trip to Dollar Tree for one of these things. I know, Brandy, what is it? Listen, it's like a pool noodle, but it's not. It's like an elbow macaroni noodle. Even though you like the longer ones, you sometimes settle for the shorter ones because it just makes sense. I'm sorry. If nobody else gets that, I'm sorry. If you love elbow noodles, keep loving them. I just, we really don't use them in our house unless they're like the last resort. I'm sorry. Anyway, that is the purpose of this pool noodle. It is the last resort. They really had the other ones, but this one is what we needed. So we're going to cut about 2 inches off the top, and I just sliced through it with my scissors. This portion of the video really is subject to how you plan on using this. I'm going to keep this inside, but I'm going to stage it outside. You're going to see what I'm talking about. If you're going to use it for outside, make sure you're putting something heavy in it so this way it don't blow away. I'm using newspaper so it will hold our plunger that we picked up from Dollar Tree also. This is going to house our topiary piece that we are about to create. So I'm just removing the top and then sticking it in here. Our little pool noodle piece is going to fit gingerly right over top of this plunger, shimmied on down into our little galvanized bucket here. The newspaper is going to help keep this level, and then this is going to ensure that anything that could be bouncing around is not, because it just works. There are a lot of different ways you can create the topiary piece. I'm going to use 4 of these from Dollar Tree. If you want to purchase a large circular piece, you go right ahead. This is just what I wanted to do for this. And to glue everything together, I'm going to be using these foam Surebonder glue sticks along with some tacky glue. But first, we have to cut a little hole in the center of 2 of these foam pieces, so that way they're going to fit snug down onto our wood plunger stick. I started with the hot glue where I created the hole for the first attachment and then continued by gluing the rest of the pieces together. I'm going to take this tacky glue to make sure that all our pieces are sticking together, and it's going to hold all this messy moss we're about to put on here, making sure to smear it where all the little creases are. So once everything completely dries, even if there is a chance it's going to come apart with those hot foam sticks, this tacky glue is going to make me feel fuzzy inside, and I know it's not going to come apart. When I was happy with how much of the tacky glue I smeared onto here, I used some of the foam stick hot glue in certain sections, spreading it out just to help me out to get this stuff on here for a quick hold while I'm creating this video for y'all at home. And because I'm me and feel like I'm bulletproof when I'm crafting, I forgot to put something on my fingers. Ow, 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 it's just in there. It's just in there. Oh, it burns. Look at me just carrying on like a champ. A little bit of melted skin. Never stop me. Decorate your topiary piece however you choose. I decided to add a couple florals in here and call it a day. This piece I picked up from Goodwill. At first glance, did not look like it was going to be much trouble. I did love the design, the cute little bird holes, adorable. I love the price even more for $3.99. And truthfully, I'm never scared of a little elbow grease. However, as I started trying to pry this metal piece off the top, I realized that sucker was kind of on there. And once I actually got it off, oh my goodness, the rust that was under here. Ugh. And it didn't get any better once I got the whole sucker off. I was like, oh, nobody wants to deal with cleaning this and prepping it, but here we go. To give this piece a good scrub down, I'm using Dawn dish detergent and some hot water, and I scrubbed this sucker down 3 times. If I had some Krug Kutter and my local Walmart wasn't out of Krug Kutter, I would have saturated this entire piece in it, but I had to make do with what I had and the time constraints I was under for this video. So I gave this thing a good scrub down 3 times. I let it dry, and then as you can see here, there are some it's loose paint. It's loose now. If I was going to strip it and start fresh, you know, that'd be one thing, but we're not doing that. So a shortcut is to take a piece of sandpaper, and since there is so much paint on here, I'm using 80 grit, okay? Because I want to get these chunky bits off of here. I went around the entire piece, getting off as much excess that was just kind of loose or hanging there or rough, to try and make this prepping a little bit easier on me. I didn't film it, but when I was completely done sanding, I grabbed a microfiber cloth and went over the piece, making sure to get all the extra crusty bits from the sanding completely off. You want to make sure you don't have any of that before you start painting, so this way you don't have anything that it's not supposed to be there in your paint. But in our case, in our bullseye primer, we are going to give this a nice primer coat. Since this piece had so much going on with it, I just feel better putting a primer on this to make sure if there's any stains that are coming through, if any of that rust is still in those holes because I didn't get it out when I was cleaning. It just makes me feel like this is all completely sealed in, protected and prepped, ready for some paints. And people, this should go without saying, but make sure that you're wearing whatever PPE you feel is necessary whenever you're prepping pieces like this. For our paint, I'm just gonna give this a layer of Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte in the Sand Dollar. When everything was all dry, I grabbed my Waverly ink chalk paint and give the roof a little paint job. I then took the same paint with a pouncer and applied a very distressed rustic stencil right in the center. We had to put the rooftop back on, so I grabbed me some of Dollar Tree's metal lace and just kind of lined it up. They have different designs. This is the one I decided to go with, but we're gonna need to bring on in the stapler so we can apply this metal lace on top of our roof. Feel free to add some glue doing this if you want. I am confident that my staples will hold this in here for what I need it for, and that is gonna be it for this makeover. This piece was a lot of work, but I absolutely love the end result. If you're interested in more makeovers and inspiration, check out this video right here. And thank you as always for hanging out with me today, people. I appreciate you. Until next time.